This is the Advanced Selling Podcast.
I meditate. I light a candle, I burn.
The aim of this podcast is to help business sales teams grow their business with modern strategies and philosophies. Now your hosts, Bill Caskey and Bryan Neal.
Back at the Advanced Selling Podcast. My name is Bill Caskey.
I'm Bryan Neal.
You're very quiet today, Bryan.
I'm not really. I'm going to relax. I just got my hair cut. You can tell, can't you?
We can't
Actually,
see
if you're
that.
watching this, I just got my hair cut. And the place that I go to get my hair cut, they kind of pamper you a little bit. So they give you a...
You told me what it was like.
I did. We're not going to say that on the air. My wife might be
We've
listening.
been admonished.
We have, but they give you, this is the international sign for head massage. This is a little head massage, a little shoulder massage, warm towel on the neck, warm towel on the face. I'm really into it. We need some incense.
Beginning of the season this week, too.
It is.
Season begins,
double dipping this week. Yep. Ohio State Thursday and Iowa Saturday.
Beautiful.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
That's awesome. That's a great time of year, man.
Yep.
Start back up again.
Can't wait.
I just got back from Vancouver. Saw some of my buddies up at HitFar. We went up to Whistler to do a sales meeting.
I noticed you were tan.
I am tan, and it was, Whistler in Vancouver, British Columbia is
nice.
just an amazing, amazing place. But I heard some statistics on the way up there, and I want you to make some sense. Have you heard the unemployment statistics? You know, they really throw those numbers around because it's a big story, and everybody's trying to figure out how to fix this unemployment problem. But you ever notice that every time it goes up, like unemployment this week or this month went from 9.3% to 9.7%, but that was because more people were looking for a job. Then when it goes down, went from 9.7 to 9.3, the reason is that more people are out of the workforce. Good. It's like, okay, so what does this number really even mean? But I thought about mutual mystification. We're mystified by statistics.
Both ways, aren't we?
Yeah. So topic today.
Yeah, we're talking about the process, or as they would say in Canada, process. Correct?
Canada, England, and Australia, we say process.
Love the Canadians.
But we were up there and talking a little bit about the sales process and the sales cycle, and I think that it deserves some mention here on the podcast. A lot of times we go into an organization or an organization. Yes, to sell, and we really don't give the buyer much of a chance to buy because we don't put things in process orientation for him. We talk about the product, we talk about the features, we even talk about the pain that he or she has, which is really good. But many times I think we skip that important step about, okay, well, here's where we are right now, and if this is where we're going, here are the procedures and the tactics and the process to get there.
Yeah, I agree. A couple of, I guess, I don't know if you'd call them symptoms or negative or less than positive outcomes that come from not having that I've observed in my clients and myself somewhat in the past. The first is if I don't have that in front of me and I don't know what it is, number one, or if I don't have it written down, then it's real easy, obviously, to get derailed or off track on what you're doing. And I think a good buyer is really good at taking a salesperson away, maybe not sometimes intentionally, just with the proverbial buying signals, and I head down a path over here when really I should stick here, and I forget to talk about some things. Then I wind up not getting the deal, and the reason comes back as, well, we thought this, or too expensive, or this specification was off, or this really isn't a priority for us, and I missed something along the way.
Yeah. So if you have some sales cycles that you're in right now, we're going to give you some tips on how to either correct where you are, or if you're brand new, if you've got some brand new cycles that are starting, brand new suspects or prospects, some ideas on that. I think the first step in communicating the process is to even have a process. And so one thing you might do is to say, if someone came up to you tomorrow and said, Bryan, if I wanted to work with your company, and I wanted to start using you to train my people, what exactly would we go through? What would be the step-by-step process between you not knowing my people and you really helping me? You would probably be able to come up with some pretty decent language there. Four steps. Okay, what are they?
4 stages. The first thing is what we would say a get-to-know-you phase, where we learn a little bit about you, the business, you learn about us a little bit. Then if we check off, then we go to phase 2.
Okay, and so everybody can use that, what you just said. Everybody can, because that's really the process up front is let's just learn about each other.
And then if we both say yes to that, then second phase would be to explore some alternatives. So I'm going to deliver back to you 2 or 3 or 4 different choices of some things of what a relationship might look like. Okay, and then stage 3 then would be evaluation and honing in of the choices. So if we get the alternatives, the stage 3 then okay, let's look at A, B, and C, and then stage 4 would then start the implementation process, which is its own deal.
Right,
after
right,
that,
right.
So we share that afterwards.
So here's what happened those 4 steps may or may not fit your world, but probably generically there's some closeness.
Yeah.
And then there's the other part of this is what happens once you become a client of mine.
Right.
And sometimes I think we forget, and this is one of the things we found out up in Canada. We looked at the process and we got really dialed in, but I said, wait a minute, the real value in doing business with you guys is not in buying it, it's in what happens once I buy it.
Yeah, it's what's life like.
What's life like at the end. And so then we went into 2 or 3 stages of the process after the deal is signed and consummated, and things like we come back once a month to measure some cycles, we contact you quarterly to make sure that you're getting your product good, whatever those things are. But I bet you have things, so it's not just how do I sell it in, it's how do I help the client get a result from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the word consummated too, by the way.
You do, yeah. I saw it. Eyes light up.
Right. When we're looking at with a new client, so we're looking for some real specific prescriptive things to tell our listeners here. The first thing is, like you said, number 1, define it.
Yep.
Number 2, write it down.
Yep.
And then put it in a way that people can understand it. Because what I find some clients will do is they'll go, well, phase 3 is the prorogatory and effective phase. And you go, what the hell is that? Well, that's when we take the da-da-da. And it's some sort of internal, speak to their own company. Don't do that. Just make it real generic so you can say to them in their explainable way, okay, I understand what that is.
Technology people do that a lot.
They do,
I got
don't
a
they?
quote here for our phone system, and in the very far right-hand column, it has MRC and NRC.
KEY.
And the difference was significant. It was like 25% difference, and I'm like, okay. I was almost afraid to ask. Nowhere on that proposal was a key. NRC equals.
Or if we're getting to the NRC phase. So basically in this phase, we're going to do a 2-test.
2-phase
4-tier,
implementation.
5 decibel. So, yeah.
So the tip here is write your process down.
Number 1.
Get it and then write it down.
Yep.
And then don't forget to include not only just how you sell it, the selling process, but also what's happened.
And then the last thing I'll tell you, and you said this earlier, but to visualize this, I buy my airline tickets on United Airlines. And if you go to United Airlines, you start to go through their ticket buying process. There's and a lot of websites do this, right? 4 little dots up at the top. 3 are grayed out. 1 is where you are. It says you're in. Choose your destination. And then 2 is select your seat. 3 is confirm. 4 is
beautiful.
Right. So I always know where I'm at, anywhere I am in the process. Same thing here. So be sure to articulate that to people to say, here's where we are. Helps them remember there's a process to follow and that sort of thing.
So on the 3rd or 4th call, if you're 2 or 3 steps in, you just remind them, here's where we were, here's where we are now.
It's nice.
That's good. United does that?
I think so.
Yeah.
United.
I had a good experience with United in my recent trip.
Love United.
Yeah, they were very good.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. Go to a listener or go to Advanced Selling Podcast, the website. We've got all sorts of toolkits up there that you can download past PDFs, and we're going to be adding some more here soon. We'll let you know when they are. Next week, we've got a special announcement.
We do.
And I think we're really excited about it. We hope you will be, but I can't tell you anymore.
We'll tell you next time.
I'll have to shoot him, and I don't want to do that.
Don't, please.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.